are now listening to the Turk and Raz podcast. We bring you our thoughts and reactions to what is happening in pop culture today, and we go back in time to revisit classic films of the 80s and 90s. Alright, we're back with another Retro Roundtable. Can't Buy Me Love is a 1987 American teen romantic comedy directed by Steve Rash. I heard he suffered from multiple rashes while making this film.
Ooh.
It stars Patrick Dempsey as Ronald Miller, known for appearing in Loverboy, Grey's Anatomy, Mobsters, Transformers 3, Dark of the Moon, and a whole whack of shit. The movie also stars Amanda Peterson as Cindy Mancini. She appeared in Annie. She also appeared in an episode of Doogie Howser, MD. I'm pretty sure she wasn't his girlfriend because we know what Doogie's into. She doesn't really have much of a filmography, and she passed away in 2015 by accidental overdose.
Yes, she did. She kind of was a sweetheart, kind of 80s. I thought she would have been a bigger actress. She kind of had that feeling of what's her name from Adventures in Babysitting?
Oh, Elizabeth Shue.
Elizabeth Shue. She kind of reminds me of Elizabeth Shue at a young age, and I thought she could have maybe done some of, things similar, but it just never worked out for her, I guess.
Well, unfortunately, she got caught up in substance abuse and other things, I think some mental health disorders. So she had kind of a tough go. But yeah, she was good, and for what she appeared in, very, had that girl next door.
Exactly.
Just a couple key players rounding out the cast. There's so many characters in here, but one notable person that I think a lot of people would recognize is a very young Seth Green, who plays Chuck Miller, Patrick Dempsey's younger brother in the movie. It was actually quite entertaining. I don't really recognize most of the actors in this movie, but Tina Casberry and Darcy DeMoss play Cindy's best friends, Barbara and Patty. I call them the 304 sisters.
Good call.
And Courtney Gaines as Kenneth Werman, Ronald's best friend. The film was released in August 14th, 1987. Ironically, it's August 14th today, and it's 35-year anniversary. So, well, of course, when this podcast comes out, it'll be after that, but we're actually recording on the day it was released. So
happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary.
The movie made a modest $31.4 million at the box office. I'm not sure how much it was made for, but I think it was a moderate success. It had mixed reviews by the critics. The common critique towards the film: the movie misses its mark and trades its potential of originality for a bit of popularity like Ronald. He thinks he wants popularity at any price, though he's really a sincere guy. The film thinks it wants to be sincere when all it truly wants to be is popular, just like the other kids' movies, so it sells off its originality. I would agree with that criticism a little bit. However, watching it again, I think the originality is why I still enjoy it. The movie has some good twists and turns in the story and character development, which make a variety of endings possible. For example, which held my interest while watching and made me more curious, is what is going to happen next. Would you agree with that, Turk?
I do.
The movie does not merely have the generic lighthearted elements like most typical, such as parties, relationships, the feud between the different social layers. Yeah, it's in there, but it's a little more deep. Every character I found in this movie, like other movies, was actually, they were likable, but they were also not likable in the same hand. So I really enjoyed that about this movie.
I agree. And I also think that the acting, not with every cast member, but a lot of the cast members in the forefront did a really, really great job of selling their characters to me. I really could believe that they were those characters. They did a great job, in my opinion. Some of them were, just not very believable, but other than that, I thought it was a good movie to watch and to dive into, and to appreciate the emotions that show in the film.
Yeah, for something, I remember this movie coming out back in the 80s. I would see the trailers on TV, I would see the movie poster, but I never saw this movie till actually later in my life. So when I first saw it, I thought it was okay, but I think this second time before doing the podcast, I think I kind of appreciate it a little bit more. Is it anywhere near like movies like The Breakfast Club or other ones? I don't think so, but I think this holds up pretty good.
I agree. I don't think I saw it right away either. I think I would have been like 11 when this came out, so I probably didn't go to a lot of films when I was 11, but I did see this probably a few years after that. And, you know, it was just like a one and done 80s film with kids and dealing with social structures at school. Didn't really think too much about it, but then, you know, as an adult, the wife and I actually find ourselves watching this quite often. So I really enjoy the rewatch as an adult. I think there's a lot of good stuff in the film.
So this is a go-to for you guys.
Yeah, it is.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
All right. The storyline basically is about an outcast loser secretly pays the most popular girl in school $1,000 to pretend to be his girlfriend for a month. It succeeds, but he soon learns that the price of popularity may be higher than expected. So basically, Turk, I think this is the high school version of Pretty Woman. Guy pays a woman for his services. He doesn't necessarily pay for her pea sleeve, but he still kind of wishes he could get some sleeve.
Yes, that's a great analogy.
Hey man, this movie and Pretty Women were basically identical.
Pretty much.
Hey, Sugar, you looking for a date?
Yeah, that's a great analogy. I like that one. What I really loved about the opening of this film was that the Beatles opening, Can't Buy Me Love, you could tell it was going to set the tone for the film really well. The rest of the movie doesn't really have any notable music, but the music that they do in the film I actually appreciate, and it's kind of cleverly decent. And really the only used Can't Buy Me Love by the Beatles a couple times. I believe it's just in the beginning and the end. It kind of bookmarks the movie.
And actually, you're right, like it's used twice in the movie, and I remember it mostly through the promotion of the film, Can't Buy Me Love, and all the trailers and all that. I think that's the first time maybe I remember hearing Can't Buy Me Love, to be honest.
Yeah, that could be my first time as well.
It's possible.
Yeah. So right away you can tell who is the responsible one and who the privileged Valley girl is. You can just see in the opening of the film that, so Cindy, you can see she's with her friends and she's got this pretty little bedroom and she's got a cardboard cutout of her boyfriend on her door, which happens to be a football player named Bobby, and he's in college, so he's not around because she's a high school girl.
To kind of piggyback on, Ronald is cutting grass with the riding mower. You remember those, the old rider mowers?
Yeah.
With the bag at the side there, I thought that was kind of cool. And is he wearing like a bees hat or something? Because it looks like Kimchi, the handler for Kamala from not Kamala Harris, but Kamala the wrestler.
Okay, yeah.
And you're right, Cindy and her 3 or 4 friends, Barbara and Patty, are coming home from shopping, so they had themselves a tough day. So you can see the difference of privilege where she doesn't work and Ronald has to work.
Yeah, and she's got mom's credit card.
She's got mom's credit card, and you see right there where the pecking order is between Ronald and Cindy, because they walk by him totally like dismissing him, and they don't bat an eye at him. He even says hi and they just like totally ignore him. And her mom's giving her a hard time using her credit cards, but she's like, well, it's first day of class. But you could tell her mom's like, why can't you be more like Ronald? And of course she rolls her eyes because, well, he's a loser.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Yeah, because he's a geek.
Yeah, so you see how full she is right now. But like you said, she gets a little bit of humble pie when her and her friends tune in on the TV to watch her boyfriend Bobby, who is now plays football in college, and they're excited that he's going to shout her out, but instead he mentions how what he really misses about home is his massage machine.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
But we all know he's talking about Gordita.
Chupapi muñeño.
I want to give a shout out to Ronald's BMX bikes, green tires, because my bro had a BMX bike, but he had really yellow tires and red.
Cool.
As we see, Ronald spends his time mowing lawns and going down to the high school football field, watching Cindy practice cheerleading. That's not creepy. Chicks love it when a man spies on them, right?
Through the fence? Yep, they do.
So he definitely's got a big time one-itis for Cindy, the most popular girl in school. In short, he's your typical male simp, I would say. Beta male!
Oh, yeah.
We learn from his friend that he is mowing grass to save up $1,000 to buy something fancy. What is that?
A telescope.
A telescope. Him and his buddy, Red, a.k.a. Kenneth. Did you know that Courtney Gaines, he plays Hans Klopek in The Burbs?
No, because I vaguely remember The Burbs.
All right, well, we're going to move on from that. So they're talking about the cool clique. Like most young people their age, they want to fit in, but they don't because nobody cool is spending $1,000 on a telescope. But that is kind of cool.
That's kind of cool.
To be honest with you.
Yep.
But Ronnie also wants to be seen and noticed by the cool people. In reality, him and his friends are not seen by anyone. He wants to hang with them. His buddy lets him know, though, that he has been hanging on her lawn for 5 years. And she doesn't even know him. So it's like a reality check. It's like, dude, give it up. His buddy also mentions that everyone is not in, like, these girls, these people are not, like, they're not in their league. This cheerleader practice, I thought there was way hotter girls than Cindy there.
Yes, but the camera tells you who's hot and who's not.
Like Patty. I like Patty.
Mm-hmm.
What this scene really kind of depicts to us, and you kind of see a little bit further on, Ronald no longer appreciates his group of friends and their activities of, like, say, playing cards and video games.
Yeah, he goes on to talk to Kenneth while they're walking in the school about, like, you know, what happened to us. We all used to go to elementary together, and Kenneth says, well, because we were forced to be in the same room as one another. And he says, this is just what happens after elementary. Jocks become jocks, cheerleaders become cheerleaders, and we become us, and I like us. And I really like that quote from Kenneth. I thought that was like just a realization of, like, you know, where you end up from elementary to high school. Everyone changes because it's such an important time in your life where you're growing up and you're going through puberty and whatnot, and everyone gets different mindsets and interests. So it kind of separates you in the end, which kind of is sad because, you know, at one time you're all just the same in elementary, and then you end up splitting in high school.
Yes, that was really well put there, Big Turk. But unfortunately, Ronald wants to do something else this senior year. He really craves the life of the jocks, who date all the pretty girls and goes to all the parties, which seems to be the privilege of being popular at the school. A good example is he's also fed up with going the long route through the library instead of simply walking through the hallway, because that kind of goes back to what you're saying. They all grew up together. Now they can't even go the route where these people that he used to consider friends. And then sitting on the corners of the cafeteria or having to sit at the visiting section to watch the school team's matches and football and all that. Like he can't even sit there at the home team. Like we said, he has a huge crush on the head cheerleader, Cindy.
Oh, yeah!
So up to this point, your standard youth movie storyline this is, assuming that popularity would bring him happiness. You've covered this. All the guys in the movie are fucking creeps. I love the one little scene where the boyfriend of Cindy's mom, do you know his name was Brock?
No.
So he comes there and he's eyeing Cindy, and you know Cindy's in her bathing suit and she has the towel covering her chest, and he's like eyeing her up and down. And I love his line that he says there. He's like, beauty runs in this family and it runs fast.
Oh, that just gave me the biggest creep moment ever.
And baby, I thought, and then the mom comes and he's still pulling out that swag. He's like, baby, I thought she was your little sister. He's eyeing her up.
So creepy.
And the mom just loves it. It's like, oh, Rock. I'll take care of your big sister. Oh, man.
If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
Like this movie like has a lot of things that, again, creepy guys.
Yeah.
Because like if you look at the football guys like from the high school team, they like grade 10 girls, or what we call them, freshmen?
Sure.
In high
something
school?
like that. Or
something like that?
sophomores, maybe.
Or sophomores.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I don't know what you categorize grade 10s or maybe they're grade 9s, but they like the new crop of cheerleaders. And there's that one guy there, the Fabio, and he's talking to the one girl, and he's like to help them keep their spirits between games.
Oh, is that the guy that drinks wine?
No. That's Quint.
Quint, okay.
The other guy, he's the Ecuador guy. There's a funny little scene with Ronald's family at the supper table where they're kind of talking, like he's talking about how much money he saved, and they're asking what he's going to do, and he saved $1,500, and he's saying that he mowed 331 miles of grass. That's $4.54 per mile. And his little brother's just busting his balls, and he's like giving him shit about his friends. And what are you doing tonight, Ronald? Oh, I'm just gonna go to my buddies. Oh, cards with tards. So little brother's kind of bullies the big brother, where usually it's the other way around. This is where we get to where the part of the movie where the plot really gets moving is that Cindy now borrows her mom's expensive suede outfit without her permission to wear at a party.
Yeah, after her mother deliberately said, no, you cannot.
Deliberately said no.
So then she went and did it anyways.
So her mom's like a rich divorcee.
I would assume so.
So I'm curious what her dad did or where he is.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah, so she boils it and then it accidentally gets spilt on by Quint, the wine connoisseur.
Ricky and Don tell me that you're a connoisseur of fine wine.
No shit. Oh, shit.
Yes. Yeah. So she ends up at the mall and there's a dress store. I believe she finds out where the dress was from. And she's basically like pleading with the worker to like, please help me out. Can I get a new dress or can you fix this or in any way or whatever? I don't know what she was really wanting the guy to do for her, but I know there was a dress behind him that looked just like it. So I think she was looking for like a refund or a new one.
She's looking to exchange it, but he's like, no, this is wine.
Yeah.
And then she's like, well, okay, well, how about I'll come work for you, but you'll give me an advance by giving me that dress. So it's like just some nonsense.
Yeah.
You could just tell like she's not used to things not going her way.
That's right. This is where they cut to Ron and he's in the telescope store. And, you know, he's looking through and he's looking at it and you can tell the salesman is like, oh yeah, I'm going to get this sale, right? Mm-hmm. And then Ron looks through it and he sees Cindy and Cindy's across the way in the other part of the mall. And he sees her in that store begging and pleading to her store guy. And he's like, oh yeah, this is a nice view and stuff like that. And then she's walking and then he's like, he realizes that she's in trouble and she's in distress. And he's like,
Here I come to save the day.
And so then he walks out the telescope store and the guy's like, I'll wrap it up for you, Ronald. He's like, just walks away.
Yeah.
He goes over to Cindy and he's knocking on the window on the glass of the store and she looks because she's all distraught. And he flashes his big wad of money, $1,000 at her.
I got money.
And he races in there and he tells her like, listen, I got $1,000, blah, blah, blah. I can help you. And she's like, are you crazy? I think you've mowed one too many lawns. Like she thought he was like off the rails.
Yeah,
but this is where the proposal takes place.
Yeah, you can really see that his manipulation because once he's there with his wad of cash, kind of a manipulative person because he's already making the deal. But the deal is that she has to make him look cool by posing as his girlfriend for a month. But I like what he says. I want to rent you, pretend you like me, and we can go out for like just a few weeks. Like how crazy does that sound? That, like I said, Pretty Woman analogy. Like he's basically asking her to kind of herself. It was pretty funny of them kind of bartering. So they're at school and he's like, okay, 4 lunches and a pep rally, for the month. Like it's a real stupid concept.
It is.
$1,000 dress, the wrath, getting her credit cards taken away. I guess it's kind of worth it, right?
Yeah.
Pretty funny watching him now walking down the cool hall.
Yeah. After she gave him a quick makeover.
She put some mousse in his hair.
Ripped off his sleeves of his shirt.
Yeah, and right off the bat, people start noticing him. Like the girls, Becky and Rebecca, what is it, like?
Geek to chic.
And then Quint's like, who's the dick with ears?
Oh yeah, man, it's that Wimpus Miller guy. I don't get it.
It must be for charity.
It takes the jocks a little bit longer to start to accept him, but the girls kind of accept him a little bit quicker.
Well, he kind of does because the banter when she kind of says, "Okay, he's with me," and they're kind of taking some like digs at him. Patty in particular, didn't you used to mow our lawn? And he's like, "Yes, you have the nicest pair of rhododendrons in town."
Yeah, and she's like, "What?
What?
Yeah.
What are dendrons?" And just kind of. Kind of perplexed her, but you can tell she kind of liked it. The girls are like,
yeah. He outsmarted them a little bit.
He outsmarted them. Then they take us to their home ec class, and the Ricky guy, the guy that likes the young girls, the real young girls. Do you notice he's not wearing a shirt? He's just the apron.
In home ec.
In home ec, like Big John there, he always has to fart and shits on.
He needs to change his diet.
And yeah, I like how Big John, it's a running gag. He's always farting on Ronnie's little brother. You get to kind of see that Ronnie's actually kind of a cool guy. Like you said, the girls are starting to notice it. The jocks are a little bit resistant. He's going from geek to chic, like we said. So him and Cindy are kind of hanging out together. Like she's getting him clothes and showing him what fashion is, and they're having talks, and she's kind of telling him etiquette. But they're also kind of bonding here.
Yeah, and he's also, can't remember what scene it was, but he's in a way trying to instill confidence confidence in her. I think this is when he was washing her car, and he was trying to say, like, you know, if you put your mind to it, you can do anything you want. You just didn't have to be this cheerleader and known as a super popular girl. And then he tries to give her that confidence that she can be creative or whatever she wants to try and do as a person. And then she ends up doing that. What I liked was with Ron's brother, Chucky, where he goes out. I think he was going to go meet Cindy. He's investigative. He wants to try and follow them.
Where are you off to? I'm going to a party, John Richmond's, with Cindy Mancini.
Cindy Mancini?
Mm-hmm.
Senior, captain of the cheerleaders?
Yes.
Most beautiful girl in the history of this county?
Mm-hmm, that's her. Well, I'm late. I got a bolt.
Bolt? Something stinks in suburbia.
But what's his motivation? Because it's like, all right, he thinks his older brother's kind of a loser, but what's his reasoning? Like his agenda? Like, is he going there to expose him? But you don't really find out in the movie.
No, not to expose. I think he was just so curious as a little kid that he could not believe that his brother was kind of hanging out with Cindy Mancini. And so I liked when he was with his parents in the living room and Ron's like, hey, I'm going out. And he's like, he couldn't believe that he was actually going out with Cindy Mancini or whatever. And then right away they play that Secret Agent Man song, and then he just busts out the house. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Because that's where they go to the party, right? And he stands up his buddies, Kenneth and
playing cards,
and the greaser buddy. Yeah, so he stands them up, so he leaves them hanging, and he's at the party, and it's a little bit awkward because they're like, "What are you doing here?" Like Big John and Quint and Ricky. But that's the first time we see Big John's kind of farting episodes where he kind of goes into like a trance, like
yeah, and they see his stupid face and they're like, oh, I know that face.
Yeah, eventually, when he makes that face, they know he's gonna shit himself. But conveniently, the window's open, and that's where little Chuck is, and he gets shit on.
Yeah, they back him right up to the screen, and Chucky's peeking his head in there.
Yeah,
he gets the blast.
After the party, that they're again, Cindy and him are hanging. But did she reveal before they went to the boneyard her poems? Because she writes poems. Because when they're washing the car, it
was right after washing the car that she brought down these poems.
Because how she does it, because she points out what a hard worker he is, and she's kind of like, I don't do shit, but then he's like, yeah, you can. And then she go give her poems, and he reads them.
She goes and gets them. Yep.
You know, why is it always like poems in movies?
I don't know, but anyways, he appreciated them. He says these are really good.
Yeah,
and she wanted to keep it secret,
and so she's confiding with him because she's never told anybody. And her mother, the 304 sisters, no.
And remember, it's our little secret.
Because it's anti-cool back then. You know, you can't be cool and write poems at the same time, so.
Well, exactly. Look what happened to Ronnie at the end of the film, how he got excommunicated. So yeah, she would have been done for it if they found out she was writing poems.
Yeah. Pretty crazy. But yeah, it's a total cliche film, for sure.
No doubt.
Yeah.
You see when they're kind of spending time there and they're looking at the stars there, because he brings his telescope, because that's part of the point they went to.
Well, he brings a homemade telescope that he made out of it's like a cardboard tube. It's got kind of homemade one.
Yeah.
But it was really cool. Yeah.
It's cool. So they're looking at the moon and they're talking about the universe, and then you can see that she's kind of really digging him. But he's a little bit of blovious.
Can you speak English? Fuck you!
Because you can see she's wants the D, and he blows it by talking about their breakup.
Yeah, this is where I just want to reach in the movie and just slap him and say, can't you realize, what's in front of you? And like you said, she's into him and she's loving this part of him, but he's just like, nope, his mind is set on being popular, and he's not even thinking about the possibility of them really dating.
And she kind of reminds him, to like stay who he is. Don't forget. But of course, he dials it up to 100 because they're talking about their breakup, and they're, because the breakup was supposed to be both benefit from it, not he kind of goes kind of cuckoo over it, or he kind of messes it up.
Yeah, she goes there thinking that she can talk to him and they can continue this relationship, like, on a serious note. That was her intent, was to go there and say, listen, we need to talk. And I firmly believe that she was actually wanting to say, I really want to date you. But then he's like, oh yeah, we definitely ramp.
But she has a boyfriend, like, from his perspective.
But he's far away. She's not thinking about him.
No, but you have to see from Ronnie's perspective that he knows, okay, this is a paid thing. It's not serious. She doesn't really, because from his point of view, he's not sure she really likes him as a person because he's paying her, and also he's aware that she's dating a college football player from his perspective. So I can kind of give him a little leeway that maybe he would be a little bit oblivious to that because it's Cindy Mancini. Like, you know, he's grew up thinking she's out of his league the whole time.
True.
But we get a nice change room scene for good measures in this movie with the ladies. I love
You gotta have a high school change room scene.
Yeah, and the 304 sisters are competing to see who gets Ronnie because they want it. They like it. They like the geek, the chic.
They do.
And now that he's broke up, he's fair game.
It doesn't take him long to attack him.
Because doesn't he go on a date with the one Barbara girl, and it's a pretty good date, or things are going good, and then the Patties, well, they're almost feuding.
Is that the one with Barbara when he's in the car and she was like, "Don't you want to feel a?"
That's Patty.
That's Patty.
That's after the dance.
Right.
Because he has this dance. Because Patty's the one that invites him to the dance, and he doesn't know how to dance, so he learns how to dance on TV.
Yeah, so he thinks he's watching American Bandstand with Dick Clark, but what he doesn't realize is it's an African cultural show that's showing some sort of ritual dance, so he learns it.
And his brother catches on, so he's like, oh yeah, this is going to be a disaster. So you think he's going to make himself look like a fool, but instead it works. Because at first, everybody's kind of like, what the hell is he doing? Is he like...
That's bizarre.
Bad. Oh, he must be in special ed.
And then his girlfriend slowly was like, oh, okay, I'll try this. And then she tries it. And then she's getting into it. And then the circle of friends are starting to
Big
try
John
it.
even
Big
does.
John, yeah.
He doesn't even shit himself at that moment.
No. And then next thing you know, the whole gymnasium is doing this dance.
And you see Cindy, she has herself a different dude. I'm assuming it's a college guy.
Another college guy with a car.
With long, greasy hair, like, and real douchebag. But what I don't understand is, like, okay, I think she likes Ronnie, but she gets kind of put off on this because throughout the movie until the end, he's trying to talk to her and she's kind of blowing him off. Like, she's pissed at him, but really, outside of him kind of changing how they were going to break it up, he still was trying to be her friend.
He was.
But she kind of was dismissive to him. And
So, and you could tell she really loved those college guys for some reason. I don't.
Oh, we know. Come on.
Well, we know. Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, because of his car. Because he had a nice car.
He had a nice car, and college guys, come on.
And he likes his milkshakes extra thick.
But he gets to feel up Patty's titty.
Do you want to touch me?
Wow. You believe this?
And he waited 17 years for this because I guess in the 80s when any 17-year-old would go underneath their blankets with a flashlight and mark it off on their calendar.
Well, you notice when they the scene starts with him underneath his sheet.
I thought he was beating off.
I thought he was beating off too, because you could see he was scribbling something, but it looked like he was doing something else. And then he's, scratching off the date. It took me this long to feel a titty.
That was a pretty good misdirect, eh?
That was a good one.
She shows him one titty, but then she shows him the other.
Yeah.
And you just like, whoa! But that Patty was like, kind of trashy hot.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's okay. They're way older than us, so
that's right.
We can gush over these girls. I think another thing we should cover is little brother was in the back of the station wagon when all this was happening.
Yes, he was.
And he did get shit on again by Big John.
Yep.
The plan goes pretty smoothly at first for quite a good amount of time, after which things do take a terrible turn. For one example, Halloween night, he and some of the jocks drive to the house of Kenneth, Ronald's best friend, or former best friend, where the jocks test his loyalty by coercing him to hurl dog feces at Kenneth's house. What I don't get is that this shows you how stupid the jocks are, because they say in the van, we've been egging and throwing this shit for 4 years. You figure eventually it was going to catch up to you.
Yeah, perhaps, but they're privileged kids, like they're jocks, and they got the world at their feet, and nothing can touch them, right? And they're on top of the world, and they have so much confidence, too much, right? And it's believable.
But the difference is Kenneth is lying in wait with his dad and his younger brother, and he ends up catching Ronald. But he lets him go before his father can call the police. After that, Kenneth ignores him at school the next day. Like, what do you say?
Yeah.
Talk about a betrayal.
Total betrayal.
Because, like, he already was, upset that his best friend is basically gave up on him to be with these superficial people, and then, oh, well, you know what? I'm gonna shit on your house. I literally threw shit and eggs at his house, so I felt bad for Kenneth.
So did I. And you could tell that was a lifetime of friendship gone down the drain.
Just like that. So
yeah.
Things are really starting to go bad for Ronnie, and it gets worse at New Year's Eve party.
Quit time is in. Let the fun begin.
God, you're an asshole, man.
Big John's house. Ronald starts drinking, and he has a kind of romantic encounter with what's her name, Iris.
She's giving more rides than Greyhound.
And Cindy, I don't know, Cindy, she was kind of drinking there, getting kind of all smashed.
She was pretty hammered up.
And she's like walking, and so she's walking in the rooms, but she finds Ronald in the bathroom, in the tub. But that's not really the shitty part of it. She overhears him reciting her special poem to this Iris, and that's what kind of really triggers her.
I respect you immensely and intensely.
And that's where she kind of goes and starts really drinking heavy.
Yeah, that hit her pretty deep.
She was pretty devastated.
When he's reciting her poem to another chick just to get laid. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, because especially that this was supposed to be between them, so it's a pretty big betrayal. But to make things better, Cindy's real boyfriend Bobby unexpectedly shows up at the party. He starts asking questions and threatening to, delete people.
Pretty much.
Or especially Quint, who's actually kind of you figure Quint would be a bigger kind of bully because that Bobby looks kind of like a dweeb. But anyways, he learns about Cindy's relationship with Ronald, and he breaks up with Cindy. So Cindy, of course, trying to explain drunkenly, Ronald paid her to pretend they were dating, but Bobby does not believe her and he walks out of there. In a drunken rage, of course, Cindy reveals the truth about her and Ronald to all the partygoers. And of course, poor Ronald gets ostracized.
He does really quickly. They sent him right back from chic to geek.
Yeah, and they kick him out there. You kind of feel, I don't know if you feel bad, but to really kind of highlight it, he's walking home New Year's Eve. His former best friends, all of them are driving, and they kind of state, could be worse, we could be that guy by himself, and it was Ronnie.
Yeah.
And he didn't even want to go home because his parents party, so he sleeps, in the shed?
Yeah, something like that, yeah. And he was pretty distraught. He was crying, I think. He was done.
Yeah, he's pretty done. School resumes, and he finds himself a social outcast by both the jocks and the nerds. His attempts to reconcile with both Cindy and Kenneth are rebuffed. I get that he would really try with Kenneth, but he did fuck up with Cindy, but she also kind of, I don't know, I don't feel so sorry for her.
Yeah, she's not innocent in this whole idea. Yeah.
And I thought him trying to go talk to her and apologize, I think, yes, he should, but I think she also should have been a little more self-realization of her part in it.
There's this one little scene when he's sitting alone at one of the benches, and this bigger girl walks up to him, and you just see like this, you just see her legs because she's like, you can tell she's really tall. And of course the camera shot is shot straight up, and you see this big girl and she's laughing at him, and she says, you could have had me for $49.95.
Economics 101.
Yeah. Yeah, didn't you take economics? So that was awesome. Yeah, that was funny.
Everybody's laughing at him.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Ronald.
Yeah.
But he gets an opportunity to redeem himself at lunch when he sees Quint, the jock, or Quint, bowling Kenneth. So this kind of makes him realize his shitty ways, even though after losing his Suendo popularity and having rejected Cindy's now sincere and unrealistic. That's the things I kind of felt her feelings for him were a little bit unrealistic. Like it wouldn't happen like that in real life. Mm-hmm. But that's okay. Especially her intimacy attempts. I thought that was a little bit hokey. But anyways, that's beside the fact. Having ditched his former friends and now ending up having nowhere to turn, the showdown between Ronald and the Quint, who's actually the fiercest jock out of them, like I said, which was caused by Quint basically harassing Kenneth, his former best friend. This is what I was talking about. Ronald was so regretful of going out of himself, his personality, and rejecting his friends, his terrible behavior against his best friend. He is furious at the unjust attitude of the popular group against him, his friends, and the other outcasts at the school, and he couldn't take it anymore, which gave him the courage to stand up to Quint for Kenneth. I thought he handled the rest with Quint is amazing in the movie. It kind of restored his dignity, and which perhaps raised him a level of respect, which isn't what he had planned with his $1,000 at the beginning.
Sure.
And in this moment, he didn't step back and vow to fight Quint if he wouldn't let Kenneth go, because Kenneth is he's just trying to help Patty out. And he reminds him that they were once, and you highlighted this earlier in the film, or in the podcast, that they were all friends. He reminds him of a story when Quint fell out of Ronald's treehouse. Both him and Kenneth picked him up, and they carried him 12 blocks to the hospital. And now he wants to kill Kenneth because he's talking to one of the cheerleaders on the side of the cafeteria.
To really make the moment a serious moment, Ron grabs the bat out of Quint's hand and smashes it onto the table beside them, and that just basically wakes everyone up and says, listen, like, you know, let him go. And he does let him go right then, and that's kind of when the moment kind of grabs you and intensifies the situation.
It was like a good balance of, like, he's standing up to Quint and he's letting him know, I will fight you if I have to, but he's also reminding him that, like you said, they were all friends, to kind of invoke kind of the humanity in Quint as well as himself. I was also impressed with the brief scene with the African American teacher stopping the older female school principal from intervening in the fight.
Yeah.
He seemed like a far-sighted teacher. He was he was very cognizant of the situation and the high emotions on the two opposite camps, but still he let Ronald express his wounds, his insecurities growing inside of him for a long time. Let it kind of reach a resolution for himself, which maybe would have positive consequences for all the schoolmates.
Sometimes it's better to just let the students kind of work things out themselves.
I kind of wish that character had more into it, because I thought he was teaching them biology, and a funny note, he has his lab coat on the whole time in the movie. Like, it's
Yep.
So we don't know what will happen next. Will the jocks be the jocks and will the nerds still be the nerds? We don't know, but at that moment you can see, like, they respect each other more. There's like an acknowledgement that nobody's perfect, everybody has ups and downs. One of the biggest messages I think this movie, or it kind of says, that what we learn is when you are humble and you appreciate others, your qualities are appreciated in return, and you get more respect compared to the case of behaving the other way around. Lessons most of us don't learn in high school, but when we're older. I would agree with that.
Yep, I would too.
Whether or not Ronald became popular or got Cindy, I think is really irrelevant. I think it's more so being true to yourself. And that's what Ronald actually learns in all this, that it's kind of like, be who you are, be a good person, and also appreciate what you have, because what you have might not be there forever.
That's right. No, it really is it's a movie that really makes you think how far we've come, even just as a society. Like today, like, geeks aren't really those geeks anymore. Those geeks aren't really ostracized like that. Now today, those same types of people are developing big business and like creating video games and just making a buttload of money because they're using their brains. Whereas, maybe today, jocks, still have potentially a great career in front of them, but sometimes they just rely on that. And when that doesn't work out, where are they left, maybe at a grocery store doing odd jobs, not as educated as some of the other kids.
Well put. I recommend this movie. Adults, young adults. I think there's something you can enjoy. I think could be some lessons you can take out of this movie. If you look deep, or else you just have your typical romantic high school comedy. This movie's pretty entertaining.
All right, it's our favorite time of the podcast, and it's a little segment we like to call Did You Know? Raz, did you know that Amanda Peterson was 15 years old during filming and Patrick Dempsey was 20 years old?
Yes, I did. Turk, did you know Patrick Dempsey was diagnosed with dyslexia at age 12? As a result, it is necessary for him to memorize all his lines to perform, even for auditions when he is unlikely to get the part.
Wow, I did not know that. Did you know that the original title of the movie was Boy Rents Girl, but when they acquired the rights to the Beatles song, it quickly became Can't Buy Me Love?
I did. Turk, did you know the choreography is by Paul Abdul, who makes an uncredited appearance as a dancer?
Ooh, that's a good one. Also, did you know that Patrick Dempsey is a car collector and a race car driver? He used all of his pay from this film to buy his first car, a 1963 Porsche 356 convertible.
No. Did you know when they jumped the perimeter wall and explored the 309th Aerospace Maintenance and Regeneration Group Aircraft Boneyard on Davis Mountain Air Force Base and contains 44,000 aircraft?
That's a lot of aircraft.
It's often called the Boneyard. It is a United States Air Force aircraft and missile storage and maintenance facility in Tucson, Arizona, where the movie takes place. It's been active since 1964. Also has been a site of filming for scenes in several films and television productions, despite the security of it. And base in general, the most recent notable is Transformers Revenge of the Fallen.
Awesome.
Not the kind of person to say a toe-to-so, but you know what? A toe-to-so. A fucking a toe-to-so.
Alright, so how many farts by Big John would you give this?
I would give this probably about 7.5 Big John farts. I really enjoy watching this movie. Maybe even once or twice a year. It's just a fun watch for me.
I'd probably give it 6.5 Big John farts. This is not a movie I probably watch every year, but when I do watch it, I usually do enjoy it.
All right, that's great.
Well, this has been fun. We're out of here.
Thanks for listening.
Bye. You can catch us wherever you get your podcasts, such as Google, Spotify, Podbean, Audible, and Amazon. You can also follow us on Twitter at TurkRaz, as well as YouTube, Odyssey, and Rumble. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section, smash a like button, and subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notification, and share our videos and podcasts out there.